Is the opportunity to line up on the grid to give themselves an advantage depending how they're planning to start this race, and close the door early on the cars behind them, or an opportunity to miss it and get put a bit further back. But hopefully they all manage to get a purple line up on the grid. Given how tight it is between P1 and P2, it'll be interesting to see how the drivers start. And as mentioned before, the one-stop strategy from medium to hard there coming up on the screen, unless they are relying on safety cars and want to do something a bit out there, although I don't think any of the front rows will be wanting to go anything different and just hoping for a nice smooth race and hold grid position after the first lap. And there is a Mercedes at a very interesting angle there in the middle of the grid. And it's 5 lights, and away we go at the Spanish Grand Prix. And Darkstorm with a great start. And Pazuzu takes P2 off the line and goes for P1. Very, very close to Darkstorm there. Bit of wheel-to-wheel action. Pazuzu takes the outside and they do touch. Although nothing too vicious at the moment, and it looks like Harvey OC with 7 places gained just off the first few corners. Great start from Pazuzu. He will be extremely pleased with that off the start line. And we will go down to Harvey, who has really climbed up the order. Great start from him. And Pazuzu for P1. And as we come to the end of lap 1, Pazuzu has managed to take out both of the front runners and secure P1. Great start and a great lap 1. Oh! And Lembao straight off. Oh! And the Alpine makes contact. I'm not sure who that was with. Uncut Jules in the AlphaTauri. And Lembao with a penalty for that as well. Sure, Uncut Jules may well be putting something to the stewards. Only time will tell, but for now we'll stick up the front. And it looks like that the middle of the grid are all fighting away here. And this is a safety car. Wow, what a start. Where's Harvey? So Harvey did pull up 7 places on lap 1. has now still managed to pull up 3 places from his initial starting place, but Lembao, with the heartbreak there at the end of lap 1, just saw him lose it on the last corner and just kept going into the gravel there. As Pazuzu comes around the corner, it's the end of the VRC. Darkstorm gaining here, but doesn't want to use too much of that ERS early doors. And Darkstorm briefly looking on the inside of Pazuzu there, does put the foot down but backs out. As they are looking wheel to wheel again. And who's going to come out on top here? Pazuzu just manages it. some hard racing going around on lap 3. These two, of course, already banged wheels on lap 1. But it will be Darkstorm who will have the DRS advantage. Oh, Pazuzu's back end slightly goes out there, but keeps the inside line into the chicane here. Darkstorm puts on that ERS and opens up that rear wing and will take Pazuzu on this straight. But then it will be Pazuzu with the DRS advantage as long as he can stay close to Darkstorm. Managing to stay within 4/10, but is losing a 10th there into turn 5 and another 10th there. And it looks to be that the field is quite widely spread. Other than the Mercedes, who's just dropped out of DRS. Is that going to activate? No. No, just dropped out. Pazuzu just about managing to keep it to Darkstorm, but Darkstorm is slowly creeping away. 2/10 difference to lap 4. So he's slowly running away here. And Lembao is getting back up the pecking order. Obviously that penalty will come into play later on in the race. It'll be an effort if Lembao still manages to find himself on the penalty in sector 3. I'm not sure who that is. Looks like it was Harvey. May have had a bit of an incident there after such a great start. Oh! Yeah, and Pazuzu just starting to slip away from Darkstorm. We'll use the ERS. Is Darkstorm using it? Nope. Knows he has the advantage here. 6/10 into turn 1. And sector 2, is that Harvey again? Yep. No. Yes, it is. Sorry, yes. Harvey has gone round again. Zuzu managing to get within 3/10 there, just makes a slight mistake. After looking like he managed to gain back the position again. In sector 1 again, it looks like it's Harvey again. No, it's not Harvey again. It's JPP Gaming who's gone round. Down to P12 after starting P8 on the grid. Oh, and Harvey is round again. Harvey is having an absolute nightmare. Now, Pazuzu's slightly closer than last time. I still don't think it will be enough to take Darkstorm into turn 1. We'll certainly get him closer. So if he manages to keep up the pace for a couple more laps, might be able to do the overtake on the main straight and close the door before turn 1, but only time will tell. It looks like the Mercedes might have a go at Styles Orphan here in the Aston Martin at some point. Taking a lot of curb and going to the gas there. Stowe may well go for... Oh, no! I was going to say Stowe may go for a move shortly, but it looks like he's taking the long way round. Try and stay behind that house. The Zuzu is still there with Darkstorm, putting that pressure on. And sector 2, it looks like JPP is off again. Not having a good season is JPP. A lot of spins. Don't know if it's the mechanics of the game. So, oh, and he's round again. And he's driving backwards. Needs to be careful. He doesn't get himself disqualified here. And he's back on. Just needs to cool those tyres down. Yeah, as I was saying, JPP extremely consistent last season. Oh, and the Aston Martin doing a move on the Alpine here into turn 1. Managed to close the door, and the Mercedes with a 3-second time penalty there for exceeding track limits, which again, penalties for exceeding track limits, especially from what I'm seeing right now, will definitely come to play in the end of the race. It looks like Pazuzu is slipping back there in P2 away from Darkstorm. And is that JPP again? I think it is. Looking like Bambi on ice. Oh, and JPP is round just before the pit lane is going into the pits. Must have damage of some kind. Yeah, it looks like Pazuzu is starting to slip out of that DRS range. If he doesn't, he's going to bit deep into turn 1 there. Doesn't manage to get closer in the next couple of laps. It looked like he might have Darkstorm by this point, a few laps back. Sector 1 and 2, what did we have there? I believe that was JPP coming out the pits. And Pazuzu needs to be careful of that curb. Yep. And Darkstorm just driving really consistently here. And we've got an incident in sector 1, and it looks like it's Steve-O's gone round. Back on the track, no damage from the looks of things. And it looks like Pazuzu nearly slipped out with that DRS range. Darkstorm keeps it consistent, and Pazuzu doesn't manage to catch. Could be out of the range this lap. And sector 2, is that Steve-O again? Yeah, Steve-O is in the gravel. And Pazuzu really training the ERS here, down to 20%, just to try and keep up with Darkstorm, stay within that DRS zone, whilst Darkstorm's harvested 75% ERS and can just defend that DRS. Extra power gained on the straight all the way down. So very calmly and maturely handled at the moment by Darkstorm, who's out in the lead, and Pazuzu, even with DRS open, is now out of DRS range, or certainly will be by the next DRS zone, I imagine. Yeah. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The field is spread. It could be a eventless Division 4 race this evening. Hopefully not. There normally is drama and heartbreak all over the shop. We will see. And sector 1, is that Steve-O again? No. It's Maxwell. He spun off at turn 3, I believe. Pazuzu has managed to gain a couple of tenths throughout this lap. And is in DRS detection. So here we go again. Battle is back on. But the straight line speed of the Red Bull is just outdoing the McLaren on that straight. That won't be the place that Pazuzu will be able to overtake, certainly in this stint. But we should see the drivers start to come in for the hards in a few laps' time. And we have Stowe with a penalty for track limits. And Hicklin was 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds to Pazuzu, and has fallen back to nearly 5 at the moment. But managing to keep himself nicely away from the likes of Starzorf and Lembau, who's also, we shouldn't count out of this race for a podium. As he makes his way up the grid after that incident on lap 1. But still, Darkstorm will be wondering what he needs to do to get Pazuzu off of his tail, as he is lingering around within the DRS. taking a bit too much curb there, which has got Pazuzu out of the DRS zone. We've got an incident in Sector 1, which I believe is the Williams of Harvey OC. He's been run a few times this race so far. And will be blue flagged from the leaders any second now. Mercedes driver with another 5-second time penalty. And I don't know if the back marker there gave a bit of an advantage to Pazuzu, maybe catching Darkstorm by surprise, but a couple of tenths has been gained on this lap. And these two are just running away from the rest of the pack. Now 8 seconds clear. Oh, Hicklin in P7. Apologies, I missed that. Lembao up into P4 now. And we'll be desperate to get back with the front runners. And Lembao has decided to pit. He'll be serving his time penalty in the pits. And on to the fresh set of hards. It looks like he'll be coming out in P8 potentially. If the Mercedes doesn't manage to get there as well. And he does, manages to cut off the Mercedes behind him. Oh! And it looks like Cameron went round there. Just briefly caught that. But let's get back with the front runners who are racing off here. Pazuzu was out of DRS. And follows Darkstorm into the pits. And actually manages to gain a little bit just from a smooth pit entry there. And after that pit entry, Pazuzu is much closer to Darkstorm, who is weaving around trying to heat those tyres up. Oh, and it looks like something's happened in Sector 1. And it looks like, is that Cameron? Yeah, it looks like Cameron went off. But has rejoined the track. Looks like he might have just spun around and lost traction on turn 3. And in that time, whilst looking to see what happened to Cameron, Pazuzu has fell out of the DRS of Darkstorm, maybe taking these hards a bit more cautiously on the outlap than Darkstorm, but Darkstorm has ran away and left the biggest gap he's had to Pazuzu this entire race. Although taking it really slow on turn 3, giving almost a second back to Pazuzu. And Pazuzu's back in it. Oh, and it looks like Harvey OC is off for potentially the 8th or 9th time within these 15 laps. He's not having a great race, 1.5 minutes behind the rest of the pack. This is one to forget for Harvey. And it looked like Cameron had left the session, so I've just invited him back. Oh, no, he's DNF'd. He will not be wanting that invite. Apologies about that, but it looks like everything is pretty similar. To how it was. Pazuzu, well, Darkstorm really had an opportunity to run away there when he got the 1.5 second gap. But let Pazuzu back just on turn 3, really didn't put his foot down, and Pazuzu did and took the tighter angle. And now back in the DRS, it looks like he's going to be having this close battle again. How close can Pazuzu get? 2 more laps of this pace, and we might be able to get in front. Yeah, Darkstorm really struggling on turn 3. But it's Lembauer with the fastest lap. So again, we can't count out of this race. And interestingly, even though Darkstorm in Q3 managed the 1:17.8, which as Sem said himself as well, was a fast time for Division 4, it turns out he has put the wrong track setup on, which makes it even more impressive that he's managing to hold everyone off and also set times like 1:17.8 in Div 4 with the wrong setup. And it looks like Harvey went off again. Yeah. And he's round again. He's going to have to be careful of the AlphaTauri coming around the corner, which he is aware of. But he is in the line. Yeah. Pazuzu fighting with everything he's got. and Harvey has DNF. Has retired from the session. And Stars Orphan on the fastest lap. Now let's see if Steve-O can make a move here on JPP Gaming on the straight into turn 1, taking a lot of curb, putting that Haas to work there. I don't think it will be enough. And it's not this time. Oh my lord. And Steve-O's turned the Haas into a lawnmower. Take out some gravel and a bit of grass there. And that's all she wrote there for the attempt on P12. Pazuzu taking a big chunk of curb. Well, penalties at the moment, pretty minimal. It'll be interesting to see what this man does in the remaining 11 laps. And there goes a time penalty for Days Freak. Just seeing if Lemval can catch Stars Orphan, but Stars Orphan is really showing some pace around here. And Pazuzu just slowly starting to drop back now from from Darkstorm. Now they've got onto the hards. Did really have that advantage into turn 3. It still does. Still gains 2 to 3 tenths down there. I think it's in sector 2. I mean, look at that, half a second through sector 1. And that is not the entry or exit you want from that corner. But it looks like Darkstorm has used up all his ERS. He's within the 10%, and that will be a sign to Pazuzu that if he's going to pounce, it's got to be soon. And Steve-O with the time penalty as well. And here comes Pazuzu on the charge. Just for a glimpse there, was back in the DRS zone. Can he get in the detection zone? No. But he's not far away. And it looks like he might be back in play here for the straight if he can have a slightly better sector than Darkstorm. But Darkstorm has proved stronger here. Takes a lot less curb. How is Pazuzu going to take the final chicane? And he's going to, yeah, take the crap out of one of those corners. And he's lost 2/10 again. And he can see the back of the Red Bull flashing, and it will be eating away at him now. Again, turn 3, massive clawback of time. Not this time round. Whilst the rest of the grid stays silent pretty much. And will he manage to make it smooth this time round? Yes. Yes. But still lost the time on the exit there compared to the Red Bull. But that turn 3 really bringing Pazuzu back into play every lap. And sector 3, we've got a Hascon round of Stevo. He's managed to come back on and keep it there for now. Whilst the leader not far behind Stevo at this point. Oh, that was really well taken from Pazuzu that time round. Hopefully. But that Red Bull just flies down that straight after the exit. And it's here where it's lost again. And sector 3, it looks like we've got a Ferrari round. No, maybe not round. Maybe just lost it slightly. We've got Maxwell with a soft tactic here. Keep an eye on that, 11.1 at the moment. Oh, and Pazuzu's off. That could be all she wrote for the hopes of P1 this race. Oh, and Pazuzu... Oh! No! With 5 laps to go, Pazuzu is out of the race and gives the podium to Stars Orphan 6. Pazuzu will be gutted. A consistent race running away with the front runner there, staying behind the whole time, consistently putting pressure onto Darkstorm. And just a deep entry into the turn before the chicane. And then a bit of traction loss off of the last corner. And that's all she wrote. And Pazuzu is out. Safety car is out. Which means, what does Darkstorm do as the front runner? What decision is he going to make? We've got people coming into the pits for the softs. All the cars will be bunched up together. This puts more pressure and opens up for a really interesting last 5 laps of the race, where the podium positions can now go to anyone. But you can't help but feel for Pazuzu there. Raced fantastically the whole time and was the only person putting pressure on Darkstorm. And what will Darkstorm do? Darkstorm is staying out. Has decided to stay out. Believes he has the pace to compete with the others who have also stayed out. I'd have thought with the gaps, especially Lembao. And Lembao also not pitting for softs. Although would not be threatened by Richie Chappell. And could then bunch up from P4 in the softs and then try and take the lead back from the race after the start. Disqualified from session, yeah, ignoring the yellow flag there from Steva. Which means JPP may well be in the chance with points after his race. Didn't go how he's obviously planned. But I think Lembao has really missed a trick there to come in for the softs and really challenge Darkstorm, knowing that he's the closest driver there with a pace to him. Yeah, just really surprised. I mean, Maxwell's now 46 seconds behind. Lembao still could do this. I am very surprised that we haven't seen Lembao pit here. The oldest hards out of the group of drivers. And now Hicklin right behind, putting pressure on. With the softs on the restart. So it looks like Hicklin could challenge for the lead here. So we'll stay on board with Hicklin for the restart of this race. But I'm absolutely baffled why Lembao didn't pit. I mean, and Day's freak as well. He's really got nothing to lose. I mean, that 1 point will probably be lost to JPP, depending if JPP spins again. But the fact that JPP is on 2 lap softs and Days Freak's on 14 lap hards, can't see why Days wouldn't have pitted either. But we'll stay with Hicklin for this restart next lap. And the safety car is in this lap. So now we will see whether Darkstorm made the right call. We know Lembow didn't make the right call. Would have still been there in the same position but with fresh softs if he'd have pitted. Can't get over it. Oh! Oh my word! Oh my lord! What has just happened? What on earth was that mess? And Stars Orford has thrown that away. I don't know if it was actually his fault, but Hicklin now with the softs on the back of Lembow has found himself in a great position. Darkstorm has absolutely ran away with that restart. 3 seconds. My lord, what happened? I thought Hicklin was going to be the talking point of the restart on the softs. Comes the Haas of Maxwell, wheel to wheel with Hicklin. Through sector 2 here. And looks like Hicklin's coming out on top of that fight. Because Maxwell's just stacked it. I don't think there was contact there. I could be wrong. I'm sure if there was, the stewards will decide who was at fault. I didn't see anything from Hicklin's side. Seemed to leave a car's width on the right. And it looks like we've got an AlphaTauri up and now everyone guaranteed points. Richie Chappell out of nowhere getting himself some great points if he manages to stay here. But it looks like after the restart, Darkstorm somehow ran away from the carnage that occurred, managed to get it to 3 seconds and kept everyone at bay again. So I said it earlier and I'll say it again, a very mature and consistent drive from Darkstorm, just keeping his nose clean, keeping within the lines and knowing the limits of his traction. Certainly paid off. It was really unfortunate for Pazuzu, who also had a fantastic race up until that one mistake, but that's all it takes. And will Richie Chappell go for a move here on Hicklin for a podium position? on the last lap, it looks like he won't be close enough for it. And he won't be. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Lembau, after the incident at the start, back to podium position, finishes in P2. Obviously, Darkstorm in P1 and Hicklin in P3. Oh, and just for good measure, because why wouldn't you in Division 4? We just saw Chappell lose a wheel on the AI, and the Ferrari lost the wing. Good times. There's just a Mercedes now, just sat there. Just sat there. Beautiful. Oh, there's two cars just sat. There's two Mercedes there. Yeah. Excellent. Oh wow, what a way to end it. What a way to end it. Oh, and another incident just to top that off. It just doesn't stop. So there you have it. Your winner of the Round 6 Spanish Grand Prix of SLR Division 4 is Darkstorm, followed by Lembau in P2 and Hicklin in P3. We will get the drivers in. Alright guys, do you want to make sure you tick your boxes? I don't know if there is boxes to be ticked anymore.
Yeah,
hello.
Lembo.
Hello.
Activate your micro.
I got it. I activated.
Microphone.
Okay, we're just waiting for Hicklin.
Wait, I wanna check it.
Again.
I go check it.
Okay, we'll give Hicklin another 20 seconds or so.
Oh, SLR Hicklin didn't have a mic, I think. Yeah.
He doesn't have a mic, okay. Fine, well, Lembau, then we'll start with you. Firstly, congratulations on the P2.
Thank you.
Obviously, incident on lap 1 sent you into the gravel trap on the last corner.
Yeah.
And also saw a 5-second penalty, but you managed to bring it all the way back. So, how was that race for you?
Completely stressed.
Completely stressed. Is that it?
Stressed. It was stressed.
Are you happy that you managed to find your way back up to the podium after the incident?
Really happy. It's great.
I guess the safety car really played into your hand as well at the end there.
The safety car saved me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hoped that the safety car come out, and it's happened. So, yeah.
Well, it was between you and Darkstorm for pole position all the way through qualifying, really. So it was only right that you got yourself back to the podium. So again, congratulations on P2, and good luck in the next round. And then onto your race winner, the Red Bull driver Darkstorm. A consistent race from the start. Sure, you were a bit nervous when the safety car came out with only 5 laps to go,
yes.
I think it was. How would you sum that race up?
Like Lembo, stressful, really stressful, and that's I choose the wrong setup during the qualification, and when I know it's the wrong setup, I'm just like, holy fucking shit, Lembo gonna be so fast.
let's maybe not swear on the stream, but However, that being said, your time of a 1:17.8 in Q3 was phenomenal.
Yeah,
And the
Lambo,
fact that
Lambo and me just like Lambo do this lap and like yes, I'm gonna be on pole. Yes, like beep beep up Darkstorm and like you see
and the way that
you see me
managed to
come
get that
out and
time.
like he's like, oh no, don't do that, don't do that, please. And he see my time.
Well, the fact that you managed to get a 1:17.8 in Q3 on a setup that wasn't made for Spain is
Yeah.
pretty phenomenal. Also, a very consistent drive. Unlucky what happened to Pazuzu,
Yeah.
but you managed to keep him at bay for a very long time. It looked like on turn 3 he kept gaining a few tenths on you, but you just kept it consistent and within the line. So how did Pazuzu affect your race with the pressure that he was adding?
Yes, Pazuzu was really aggressive, and I see the time, uh, the I see Pazuzu come all the lap. Pazuzu like increased the time by to 0.2 second, and that's really that stressed me a lot. But when I see him crash, uh, unfortunately, it's really sad for him. But for me, it's like okay.
It was like a miracle for you.
Yeah, it's like okay, I'm gonna be on podium if I don't do a crash.
No, well, congratulations on P1 and well
Thank
done
you.
for winning Spain. Another consistent race, another great drive.
Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, tune in next
Wait,
Saturday.
wait, I
Oh,
need to say
yeah.
something. I need to say
Oh, what do you
something.
need to say, Lembout?
Every
Is
race
this about what I
I'm
announced in the...
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
go on,
yes.
go on. Yeah.
Ich grüße meine Mutter, mein Vater und Manuel. Grüße gehen raus. Okay, thank you.
Tabarnak.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, join in with us next week at 9 p.m. on Saturday evening, where we will be racing Division 4. Where is the race next week, guys? Do you know? Don't know
Monaco.
off the top of my head. It is Monaco, the streets of Monaco. So I'm sure if you enjoyed the carnage of the safety car restart today, you will love next week. So join me next week. And thank you very much. Take care.